rapping about my life like it knows my every move, but it never stacked up birch pile high or pulled a stuck rig loose. Long field flat and frozen, breath hangs wide in the air. I got belly under blankets and diesel in my prayer. Weather is the boss out here, not some screen, not some talking my ear. From the grain to the gray old moss, clock says go, but the sky says stop. I plan, I push, I cuss, I toss, but the weather is the boss. Red Massey hums at sunrise, tracks through slush and clay. Spruce line holds the hillside where the saw sings half the day. Skis lean by the back door, waiting on a clear blue spell. I read the clouds like scripture, more than any manual. The weather is the boss out here, not some screen, not some talking my ear. From the grain to the gray old moss, clock says go, but the sky says stop. I plan, I push, I cuss, I toss, but the weather is the boss. Frost, flood, hail, thaw, I just dance to what I'm dealt. Oh yeah. You can tell me what I should do, but this land decides itself. Weather is the boss out here, not some screen, not some talking my ear. From the grain to the gray old moss, clock says go, but the sky says stop. I plan, I push, I cuss, I toss, out on this finished cross. Yeah, yeah. The weather is the boss. Great dawn breath, coffee in a jar, frost on the shed roof, keys in my hand. Massey 35, waiting by the birch line. Old paint fading, still stops on command. Oh yeah. Red tractors in the pines, working through the finished sky. From the barley to the rye, and the spruce that scrapes so high. 35, 165, 399, still pulling fire. 645 by the front of the line. Red tractors in the pine. Rain dust dancing, sun breaks the fall. Black soil turning under steel and slaw. 165 holes through the low wet ground. 399 holes as the swans swing around. Red tractors in the pine, working through the finished sky.
Good morning. Grab a couple of skis, a couple of poles. Then we'll see. It should be pretty crispy today. It's been melting a lot, as you see, during the last days, and now it was -degrees overnight, so should be crispy. We might have lost a part of the track, but where there is snow left, it should be decent. Or we will find out at least. Yeah, it's melted a lot, like the field is starting to show again, so we might not be able to ski that much more this year. Hopefully a little bit more still. But yeah, as I said already when we started in January, thought this year might be a pretty short skiing season. Now if we get this like normal or almost early spring, then it's gonna be only like 2 months of skiing, which is very, very short. But yeah, we'll see. We'll ski as long as there is snow, and when there is no snow we will do no skiing. It's kind of how it goes, I think. We'll see if it's frozen enough to where the holes don't go through. Looks good. Ski track isn't very deep because it's melted quite a bit. Yeah, not much left of a track here, but enough to ski on, I think. Barely right here. Rough there. Water in the ditch already. It's melting. Yeah, here it's almost grass visible already. We'll see how the forest bit is doing. At least up there we won't be able to ski anymore. There's no snow left. There's barely any snow left here. Melted away very fast. Kinda skiable here. Not the best. We might just take a look here and then we'll ski mostly around the field, I think. There you really weren't gonna ski anymore at all. Too uneven, too dirty. Dirty snow. Here also really no track left. Slippery right there. Too much weight on the inside ski, I think. Whoops. It's kind of icy track also, so it's pretty easy to kind of fall down. Let's see if we can get back up here. Then we gotta get the camera back in order too. Went a little back heavy there. I think it might be better to stick to the field. We can ski here, but then we need to come back here because pretty sure we cannot ski in the one place there. Definitely not enough snow there. And here it hasn't really frozen enough, so the poles kind of go through. I guess we can kind of go up here, but as you can see, no point in going right there. Dirt visible. So once in a while we can do this and then go back here. I think it's out on the field, it's the best part. There it was almost good everywhere. It's kind of sketchy when it's so icy and the track is almost non-existent, but there is some like grooves. I can sometimes pull you sideways or make you fall or something. It's a little bounce. A little tough when it's that icy. And then sometimes the poles still go through. Then you definitely start falling. I think we want to be out on the field today. There it was. The track was kind of harder and better. Here it's like some places it's just sideways ice and then other way ice and uneven and poles go through and stuff. It was really good, but it melted a little bit too much now. You could almost try, if it would be better up there, you could almost try to pull just the track maker again. But then it might just slide sideways, just make new grooves. But it's okay, on the field we can ski today, there should be good. There the track was pretty good for the most part, I think. It had melted a decent bit, but it also had a decent bit left of the track still, so it's good. Pretty good here, but the track has melted away, so you gotta make corrections all the time. Makes it kind of sketchy. This track on the field here is pretty good. I should put the camera higher, man. Might have flipped down a little bit when I fell there. But I think we'll do this like here, and then we'll just take a shortcut here. This part of the track is in decent shape, but in the forest it's not in so good shape. Still some places poles go through. It didn't really have time to freeze that much overnight, I think. glide is pretty good here in the field. Just a little bit. When it's icy track, it needs to be a good track, because if there's no track or it's like uneven, it's super sketchy because it's like icy, so you're sliding sideways. But yeah, other than that, pretty good. Glide is pretty good, I would say. Good morning there. Yeah, we're trying to utilize the cold weather in the morning now when the track is still pretty solid. In the evening it's gonna continue melting, so crispy snow in the morning, not so crispy in the afternoon. Also the rest of the week is, yeah, maybe in the morning we can ski, but otherwise it's gonna continue melting. As you see, there's already quite a bit of ground visible. So it kind of happened, the same thing happened again last week. We got first more snow, so we had almost half a meter. Now it's down to like 15 centimeters again. On the field, even the field is visible in places. So yeah, might be a really short skiing winter this winter. If the weather forecast is right, then yeah, this week we might be able to ski maybe a little bit more, but then it's gonna be probably everyone melted away. Yeah, it was like, if you counted all the snow, like the old snow plus the new snow, it was almost 50 centimeters. But already a couple of days later, it was like 25 centimeters. Because when it's like loose snow, it melts like, as soon as you get a little bit of plastic grease, it shrinks like immediately. So it was a lot more when we plowed the yard here like last stream, or was it the stream before that? It was huge piles of snow. Now it's like just a little bit left. Almost the same thing that happened like last year in November. We got half a meter and then 2 days later it's all gone. But yeah, we can probably start to make the firewood soon, because the firewood pile is also looks pretty clean from here at least. Just a little bit, maybe some ice in there, but we can start splitting some wood, I guess. As soon as we can't ski anymore, then we'll probably start making firewood. You can see there's again water in the ditches. Snow is melting. Oops. But yeah, it's again a little bit crazy to think that in 2 months we'll probably be putting seeds in the ground right here. Only 2 months. And it's a start of a new season again. New farming season. Rabbits have been running in the track again. The tracks look pretty massive when the rabbits takes a step in the snow, and then the track or footprint melts. And it looks like a monster foot. Let's see if we can see somewhere here, like right there. That's a rabbit right there. It looks like something bigger. Some bigger footprint. Over there is also in there. That's probably human tracks there, but huge tracks. Yeah, here it's already. When does the sun go down here now? It goes down like 6 p.m. or almost like between 6 and 7 p.m. So we have gained, probably gained like 4 or 5 hours here already from the shortest day. But yeah, we had like a couple of days ago. It was probably the last time when I was skiing, and when I was making this track. Then we had like I heard some like dog running around there, and the hunters were there. Then they came later here, and they said they were like tracking one rabbit, and they had shot it like a little bit, but it didn't die. So then they were walking around here and trying to find the wounded rabbit. It was last Saturday, I think. After I made this track, then they arrived here with a car. I thought, what the hell are they doing here now? But yeah, they were tracking one rabbit. I don't know if it was this one, but some sort of rabbit. Or hare. I think technically in English it should be hare. It's bigger than it's not like a city rabbit. We'll see. We could almost, it's frozen now, so you could technically ski now almost anywhere, but if we go here, you can still see it's a little frozen on the top, but it's still breaking through. So this would not be, and the poles go through, which is very annoying, like this. So if it would freeze a little more, then we could ski like anywhere. But as you can see here, it's very hard. Very hard to ski here where there is not a track. It kind of looks better, but when you ski there, it's like not so easy. here it doesn't break through when the snow is like flattened down a little bit. Poles might occasionally go through, but much better here. There's a bunch of tracks right there. Rabbits have been enjoying when the grass is coming out again. And yeah, we didn't see, like, sometimes when you start to ski you could see like a rabbit if it's like hiding somewhere. Then when you come close to it, then you can see a rabbit. Like once I skied and there was a rabbit like hiding behind the gazebo there. Then when you came close and it just ran away. Wondering what the animals eat through winter. Yeah, so it's really like, for example, the rabbits. Like in the winter, they have to just dig down, I guess, and eat like the dead grass or something. Like, I'm not an expert on what they eat, but they gotta find something. I mean, the rabbits, they just live around here all year long. They don't go away for winter. Same with like moose and deer and bigger animals like that. They don't sleep in the winter either. So they have to find something in the winter. I think the moose, they eat like trees. So I guess they can find stuff to eat all the time. But yeah, like rabbits and stuff, they have to dig down and find grass and things, I think. But yeah, it's for sure like a tough thing to do for the rabbits. If you think we had a few weeks there where it was minus 20 degrees and they're literally just outside in minus 20 all the time. Like tough animals for sure. Now we have John in the chat here. Lead moderator John. We could maybe ski this loop in the other direction today also. Mix it up a little bit. Since we can't really go on that part anymore. It was tried in the beginning, it was like kinda okay, but it's melted even more there. And yeah, the one part is completely without snow. We can do this track around the field in both directions. Renewed electricity contract, that's good. Then we should have power. Should have power at the farm, which is useful, which is helpful. Makes some things a little bit easier. There's a little sketchy part right there. But yeah, it feels like the temperature is rising quite fast. I think it's gonna be plus degrees here pretty soon again. Glide is much better. It's always when you have what I like to call like old snow, especially when it's like it's been plus degrees for many days, then it goes back to minus degrees. Much better glide. And generally also harder snow so the poles don't go through. So for this style of skiing, it's a lot better. As long as there's a little bit left of the tracks, then it's pretty good. It's always pretty much the same thing when you ski. Like when you start in the fall, it's usually slow snow and you're in bad shape, so it's really slow. And then the closer you get to spring, the better the snow is and the better shape you're in. And sometimes it might even be sunny, so it's always like every skiing season is kind of the same. It starts out tough, and then it gets better and better and better, and then it ends. It's pretty much always the same with skiing. It's the best just before it ends, and then it's summer break and no skiing. I think at some point you could try to, like in April, go to northern Finland, because then there is usually really good skiing weather in northern Finland. Like it's kind of warm, but it's still minus degrees there, and they have more snow there, so it's like when it's already melted here, then in northern Finland there's the best weather of the year for skiing. So at some point we could try to go like for a little like spring skiing trip to Lapland or northern Finland. Going cold swimming later this week. Yeah, John is going, what is it called? Like when you plunge in the, you have like a hole in the ice and then you go in there yourself. Is it ice? Is it called ice swimming in English, or what is it called maybe? Yeah, I don't mind cold, but that I'm not doing. I'm not that big on swimming. I like water in the icy form. But yeah, that's for sure. If you do that in the morning, you will definitely wake up. Go swimming in 0-degree water. That's gonna wake you up. Hole in the ice. Yeah, hole in the ice swimming. Yeah, here you could try in a ditch here. There's some cold water. Just jump in there. That's some probably pretty close to 0-degree water right there. Yeah, you definitely want a sauna close by when you're going in the really cold water. Otherwise it could definitely be dangerous. if you just jump in like 0-degree water, then it's like, if you stay in there, it's gonna be like 5 minutes and you're pretty much dead, or 5 to 10 minutes if you can't get into some warm place. So. But this is almost as good to be out skiing here a little bit. It's pretty much gonna wake me up quite a bit. Sauna included. Yeah, so most places where they have where you can plunge in the cold water, they also have like a sauna there. Otherwise it's not fun. For sure not fun. But yeah, I like sauna. I don't mind colder weather, but I'm not gonna do the cold plunges in water. That's too much. For me, that's too much. Sometimes I take like really cold showers. That's enough. Then the water is maybe plus 5 degrees. That's cold enough. For sure, cold enough. Sketchy section. Back to good track. I can already feel when I ski the track, even in some places it like gives out. So during the night today it froze a little bit, but just a little bit on the surface. Underneath it's still not frozen. Because it was so warm there for like 5 days or something. I think it was only like -2 during the night. But yeah, can't complain. Still much better than if I would skied yesterday. Then these two all would have been like slush basically. Then it would have been very hard skiing. At least now it's a little bit frozen. Yeah, spring is it's definitely spring. If the like later this week, as I said, most days it's gonna be +5 during the day. And even more sun. I think today might be the last day where it's not sunny this week, so more melting incoming, that's for sure. Spring is coming, yep. Winter came for a little bit there, and now it's spring is coming. So yeah, I guess we could basically conclude this winter. It was very short, pretty cold actually. 2 months of actual winter, which was colder than average, and not that much snow. That's pretty much this winter. So yeah, we had snow. We got snow in like early January, which was very late, and then snow for January, February, and now in March. But definitely at some point in March everything is gonna melt, I think. So snow for under 3 months. So yeah, not a long winter at all. It's usually usually we have snow for a little bit longer time, but yeah, every winter is different. Oh yeah, so you had like a long and warm winter then, I guess. We had November, December was pretty not nice here. It was like +degrees all the time, no snow, very dark because of no snow, and yeah, again a different type of winter. No, it's always minus. Yeah, that's what most days here in the winter usually are. It's like +5 to -5 for the most part. But this winter was kind of, it was like November, December, only +degrees, +degrees, +degrees. And then someone flipped the switch in early January. Then it was basically -degrees all the way to now. Like we had like 2 months where it was, I think it was like 1 day with +degrees or something. And all the other days were -degrees. And now it's been every day +degrees again. So it's like on-off winter, I guess, for temperatures. It's either clearly minus or clearly plus. Nothing in between. Kind of the same as in summer. It always gets stuck into some weather. Like if it's hot and dry, then it's hot and dry for the whole summer. Which is, yeah, it would be better if it would be like more variable weather. At least when you're trying to grow things. Sometimes rain, sometimes sun. That's way better. But we've had many summers where it's like only hot and dry. I guess last summer was pretty good, like farming wise, like things grew pretty well. Still would have been nice with more rain, but compared to the last many seasons, last season was better. Hopefully this summer is gonna be like a rainy summer. We haven't had a rainy summer since 2018, I think. So I think we're due a really wet summer, which would be great because we're gonna have a bunch of oats this year. A bunch of rain means a bunch of oats. So really hoping for a rainy summer. Most people hope for a sunny summer. I'm hoping for a rainy summer. It's still gonna be hot and sunny no matter what, like, but at least please give us like 10 to 20 millimeters, like at least every second week or every week even. That would be great. That's really what I mean with a rainy summer. It's still not gonna be like a UK summer or where it like actually rains every day. Rainy summer here means it kind of rains maybe once a week or something. That's like a rainy summer here. CO2 under microscope appears as money machine. Yeah, there's definitely like with anything, there's always somebody who tries to like cash in with whatever the thing is. I think one neighbor there, they're plowing some road or something. Maybe they're gonna do some logging or something, or need some roads opened up. AI gore. It's AI gore, or is it AI slop? But yeah, it's always funny the AI cats, where you have the cats dancing. I think those are fun. Or where there is like a cat is pranking a dog. I think those are actually, they're AI slop, but they're actually pretty funny, I think. AI cats. Looks pretty funny when cats dance like humans. At least in my Twitter feed or X feed, there's a lot of those dancing cats. I guess once you watch a few of them, then there's gonna be even more in the feed. But yeah, it all started with Keyboard Cat on YouTube. I think that's where it all started. There's some cats there, I see. Cat emotes. AI videos taking over internet. They are like, it's a lot of the videos, it's really hard to tell if it's like real or AI, at least sometimes. You really always gotta be like, when you watch any kind of video online these days, pretty much always gonna think that, okay, this could be fake. Like always, pretty much. You never know if it's really real or fake. Hard to tell these days. AI stuff. And yeah, it's amazing if you think about the AI videos. Like just maybe 2 years ago, you could clearly tell if it was made by AI. Now just like maybe a couple years later, it's very hard to see the difference. And just imagine forward like a few years. Then you have no clue if it's real or fake anymore. And ads, yeah, the ads are probably made by AI too. Oh god, then you have to watch fake ads. Even worse than the real ads. Fake ads. Oh man, that's not gonna be great. Fake ads. Okay, see you later. My new profile pic is cool and created by AI. Yeah, John made a AI profile pic. What was it? Some sort of like badass capybara or something. Like what the hell? Looked pretty cool. Badass capybara. Okay, okay. And now we skied like 1 hour, I think. We're gonna try to do at least half an hour more. Not too many good opportunities to ski, so we're gonna ski a little bit more per, like when we're out here, we're gonna do a little bit more at once. Instead of, if it would be good weather all the time, I could do like a little bit every day, but I could do a little bit more now per day. Tomorrow it's gonna be again plus degrees all the time, so probably not skiing tomorrow. But a decent session today, and then we'll see what we do tomorrow. Or maybe we can ski then the day after that again. If there's any snow left. I mean, it's supposed to be minus degrees a little bit almost every night, so this should last a little bit here in the field, but as you can see in parts, there's only like 5 centimeters left, so not gonna take too much to melt it all away. But yeah, actually the firewood pile, I didn't check it closer when we skied past it once, but from what I can see here, it looks like there's no snow left. Pile looks kind of clean. And how is the area here where we put the pallets? Well, there's still a little bit of snow left there. So ideally this could all melt first here. Then we can make the pallets, put the pallets here. So maybe we'll let it melt a little bit more, but yeah. It's a little bit of snow left there. You could push that with the blade away, then you could start making firewood right now, but yeah, we can maybe wait a little bit. It's still early March, so it's not any rush. But yeah, it's probably gonna change a lot this week already. +5 a few days when the ground is starting to be visible. It's gonna melt the rest pretty quickly, I think. We shall see. Whoop. Icy tracks, icy tracks. To try a few laps in the other direction, I think you can mix it up. It's kind of like a loop track, so maybe good to switch directions once in a while. Then this place soon we have flattened down all the snow here. Then it might be a little bit better to ski on. But it's still, you can see, when it's just this loose snow. Not that easy to ski through. Kinda make the turn with some speed. Try to not fall down. There you can see pearls are starting to go through. I think it's beginning to go on the plus side again. At least like 15 minutes more, then we're done, probably like half an hour, 1.5 hours. Not super long, but a decent amount. Yeah, the only thing really missing from like a very good spring day is like the sun, but I think later this week it's gonna be actually pretty sunny. At least according to the forecast, which again might be completely wrong, but should be even sunny. So really, I mean, not the best for skiing when it's like soft snow, but good spring weather. Can't complain too much. It feels really warm now when it's not minus. You get used to the -10 to -20 already, so now when it's like even around 0, it feels like warm. It's like, what the hell? What the hell weather? The wind is picking up maybe a little bit. There was like in the afternoon today even, there might be some rain or some snow or some small thing coming down. So another reason why it's better to ski now in the morning, and then let the snow come down in the evening. Yeah, here you can see in some places where there was more snow. It's frozen a little bit on the surface, but sometimes when you push it, like pole goes through the snow. It's just a little bit frozen. Weak snow still in places.
had some car issues. Well, that's not good. Let's check the damage.
Oh, bitrate dropped for a bit. Yeah, I'll do a couple more laps here. Maybe do the other direction now and then. little break and then we'll do the last laps of the day. We've been going not at very fast pace, so it's like it doesn't not super winded. It's like muscle gets tired before you kind of get. It's not like. But that's what I'm trying to do. Also go like slow enough to where I can talk, because that's more beneficial to my shape than going like max speed for 10 minutes or max speed for a few minutes, stop, max speed, stop, max speed, stop. Like that's can be good to do that sometimes, but for general like getting in shape and especially fat burning, it's better to go like this, like slow and longer time. Burns way more fat, I think. Not any kind of super personal trainer or anything like that, but I think that would make sense. And yeah, for skiing I've heard like, or seen like even the professionals how they train, it's like mostly slow paced, and then sometimes they do the interval training or something where you go like full pretty hard for a few minutes, stop, rest a little bit, go hard for a little bit, and then sometimes you can try to go like reasonably fast for a longer time. But yeah, it's always, I'm not training, I'm just training to feel better basically. That's it. So we can go slow if you want, we can go max speed a little bit if you want. It's really, I don't have any kind of like schedule or have to do this and have to do that and anything like that. But yeah, in the next few weeks probably what's coming up is making firewood, skiing as long as it's possible, maybe some other things, we'll see. But it's probably gonna start to pick up soon here. I need to start to look for the greenhouse also soon, because I want to build a greenhouse, and I probably want to build it pretty early because I want it like done before the growing season starts, so we need to start pretty early, I think. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Depends on the weather again, as we have in the intro even. Weather's the boss. one more lap. I think this is the last lap for today. Then we have done, hard to say in kilometers, and I haven't counted the laps. Maybe 10 kilometers. Kind of hard to say. All right. Yeah, I think the snow is slowing down here. We could be in the plus degrees already. All right, around 0. You can see in the track, yeah, how we made some like ruts and things, and it's kind of melting on the ski there, so it might be plus degrees already. Yeah, it feels, yeah, it's not crunchy anymore, it's like wet snow on the surface. But yeah, get a good skiing session in today. Hopefully later this week a few more like this, where there's still snow left, and it's like minus over the night at least, so better glide. But yeah, thanks for watching, and yeah, feel free to follow on Twitch, Kick, subscribe on YouTube, all free ways to support. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Have a good week.
Great dawn breath, coffee in a jar, frost on the shed roof, keys in my hand. Massive 35, waiting by the birch line. Old paint fading, still stops on command. Oh yeah, red tractors in the pines, working through the finished sky. From the barley to the rye, and the spruce that scrapes so high. 35, 165, 399, still pulling fine. 645 out the front of the line. Red tractors in the pine. red tractors in the pine, working through the finished sky, from the valley to the ride, and the spruce that scrapes so high. 35, 165, 399, still pulling fine. 645 at the front of the line. Red tractors in the pine. Red tractors in the pine. Chat keeps yapping about my life like it knows my every move, but it never stacked up birch pile high or pulled a stuck rig loose. Long field flat and frozen.